a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
All right, we're back to the, I'm sorry, I'll be honest, forgettable Lizzie McGuire franchise. Don't get mad. I adore Hilary Duff. She's incredible talent. Seems to be a genuine good person. Didn't grow up all up like most of the Disney kids. And yes, I know I'm not the target audience for the Lizzie McGuire show. I just think it's, I don't know, they have all these like interludes with sound effects and cutaways and jump cuts and physical comedy, like slapstick stuff and funny music. And it just feels like it's aimed for a super young audience, but then they're constantly trying to tell stories of how hard it is and how awkward it is to navigate high school as a teenager. But again, Hilary Duff, gem. Last time we saw Lizzie McGuire, she was like in France or some I don't know. Again, forgettable, okay? So looks like it's going to be 4 episodes of the TV show on 1 VHS tape, and it's even a white clamshell, A+ for presentation. Jesus, take the wheel. We press play. Episode 1 of 4, Lizzie McGuire, totally crushed. We start with a Survivor parody with animated Lizzie McGuire, then real people in school, Lizzie and, oh yeah, this guy, poor friend zone Gordon, and her other friend Miranda. They notice that everyone is suddenly paired off except them. We're back to Lizzie's parents and her little brother Matt. Matt is collecting Yankee baseball cards. Lizzie's on the phone with Miranda. They're like, did a love bug hit or a full moon? Oh wait, it's Valentine's Day next week. Damn, I should have saved this tape for Valentine's Day in February if I'm not, you know, doing Pooh Month 4. February is a Pooh Month 4. Okay, suddenly 2002 is at the door. His name is Ronnie, and his dad knows this kid. Her dad knows this kid. It's the paper boy. Dad pays him, and he flirts with Lizzie, like the paper boy, not the dad. Okay, they walk, and they hate each other, but then they love each other. Will they or won't they? Lizzie and this guy. We go to commercial break. The VHS case has 87 minutes. The next day at school, Lizzie has a crush. It's Ronnie, the paper boy. He goes to the neighboring school, Jefferson. He's cute and funny and plays the guitar. The holy trinity of men. But you can also exchange all of those 3 for just being tall. Little brother is trying to buy the last Yankee card he needs from some blonde at school. The next day, there's a letter stuffed in the morning paper. Animated Lizzie says she has a boyfriend because it's a letter to her. Brother is baking because the blonde wants fresh baked brownies, and she's only giving him her Yankee card if he gives into all of her demands. Ronnie gave Lizzie his shoelaces, and he's making a tape of his favorite songs, although he burns CDs. Now she won't shut up about Ronnie, and everyone's annoyed. Miranda and Gordon are bonding now because Lizzie is a boyfriend and is annoying. Blonde needs Matt to pick up her dry cleaning and make her lunch and wipe her shoes clean, and Matt's friends are like, no baseball cards worth this, you little bitch. Hilary Duff song montage of her and Ronnie rollerblading. Ronnie gives her a ring. Oh, they kiss, and it's believably awkward. Full marks for that weird teenage kiss. She floats back home, and her parents are grilling her about Ronnie. Mom says he's a nice boy, and he does have a job, which is funny. And then they ask, well, they're like, you're not dating or anything, are you? And then it hits the fan, because they are, and Mom and Dad think Hill's too young to date, and she's like, every other girl has a boyfriend. And they go, does Miranda have a boyfriend? And she goes, no. That was funny. Next scene, it hits the fan with Miranda as her and Lizzie fight. Montage of the little brother Matt doing everything for the little blonde. He finally gets the card, but they're vague about what he finally had to do to get it. Oh, instant reveal. He traded all of Dad's old baseball cards for the last current card he needed. Oh, Dad had all the rookie cards or whatever. Dad takes Ronnie's Dad takes the card collection, and thus ends plot B. Ronnie shows up and he's like, can we go out and talk? And she goes, Mom, can I go talk with Ronnie? And she's like, oh, I don't know if you want to do that, daughter. Mom knows what's up. Lizzie has no idea. That was fun. Here we go. Something happened. Ronnie isn't sure about some stuff. There's a girl at his own school that likes him, and she's right there, which, I mean, especially as you get older, sometimes location can drive the entire relationship. Roland isn't sure if this is the best time for him to have a girlfriend with this other girl interested in him. She gives the ring back. He still wants to be friends, and she cries and walks away, bawling her eyes out. She's crushed, heartbroken. Now it's time to make up with Gord and Miranda. Poor Gord. He's like, Ronnie sucks. You're beautiful and awesome and the greatest girl in the world, Lizzie. And she's like, you're such a good friend, Gord. Pour one out for Gord. Episode 2 of 4. The family agrees to babysit a chimpanzee while the neighbors go to a lumberjack competition. Okay, all right. Little brother Matt hates the chimpanzee, and at school, Lizzie has a hot substitute teacher. A lot is happening. Mr. Keith is the sub, and all the girls are smitten. He even has an accent. Watch out, ladies. And he's teaching them poetry. Oh my goodness. His favorite poet is Robert Burns, and he quotes Burns, "Of all the time I spent, my favorite time spent was with the ladies." Groomer. He's making all the girls swoon and probably worse. Lizzie pretends to pass out and the sub goes, "Are you okay? Have you been eating at the cafeteria?" Oh, that was funny. I'll give him that. He's a funny groomer, okay? Now Matt and the chimp are finally bonding, and we get a bonding montage. Miranda gives the teacher a book about Robert Burns. This makes the girls fight. Then all the other girls join in the fight for this guy's attention. He gets Lizzie to read Ivanhoe. Hoo-ho! This guy is obsessed with Robert Burns, and there's going to be a Robert Burns Day now. This is testing my patience. Lizzie's getting ready to go to Mr. Burns Day, and Mom is like, cool your jets and put on some non-skanky clothes, please. She figures out what's happening, and she tells Lizzie a story about how she had a crush on an older lifeguard and it didn't work out, but she ran into him recently and he had lost all his hair and he's a loser now. Great talk, Mom. Great talk. I'm sure the lifeguard's at home now going like, hey, remember that blonde I used to date? I ran into her and she has these tragic, nerdy glasses and she's married and her daughter dresses like a skank. Dad is hurt. Needs to go to the hospital for some reason, but everybody has to go with him, so now Lizzie has to stay home and babysit the monkey for some... None of this makes sense. It doesn't matter. So she brings the chimpanzee to Robert Burns night. She gets to the party and wants to stick the monkey with friend zone Gordo. It's the chimp and the chump. Don't laugh at that. You're better than that. Hot Sub has to read now, and Lizzie's going to miss it because the monkey ran away, so they chase the monkey. They get back just in time, and he's about to read his fucking Robert Burns poem, but a food fight breaks out. Miranda helps get the monkey, and she says, quote, "It's not often you get to chase a monkey at school." And the way she said that sounded like it was like a dirty euphemism for something. Teacher gets splattered by haggis as he's reading a stupid poem. That's funny because it's haggis. Lizzie and Miranda miss the food fight, and the next day, hot teacher thanks them for being grown up and not just trying to bang them like all the other high school girls do. Then they each choose a new Hollywood celebrity crush. Lizzie chooses Brad Pitt, and Miranda chooses Heath Ledger. Wow. That was fun. Episode 3 of 4, we're half done, folks. The square dancing in gym and the hot goss is that someone has the hots for Lizzie, but it turns out to be this loser right here. He's the stinky boy. He awkwardly asks her out, and animated Lizzie's like, "No, P.U." And real Lizzie makes up a lie and breaks his heart to his face. Miranda says, "Good thing he has algebra next, so at least that'll cheer him up." That's really funny. Take that, nerd. The B plot is a dad and son are playing video games in the driveway and the lawn, and everything is so full of junk that the mom couldn't even park in the garage. So dad and son start cleaning the yard and the garage, and Lizzie talks to mom about how a loser likes her, and mom says, "How do you know he's a loser? If you don't give him a chance." Dad and son find the old boxcar racer. Lizzie said, "The dude is a total geek," and mom says, "Well, then you might have to marry him someday like I did." Yeah, awesome, Mom. Mom says, "Look, what I know about boys is that some of the best ones come in very strange packages." That's good. I'll take that. Good job, Lizzie's mom. Miranda says, "Make sure he takes you somewhere no one can see you when you go on the date." Oof. She calls him back, and she agrees to go on a date with this dork. Gord stops by to make sure she actually goes on a date. I think Gord's play here is that when Lizzie goes out with this loser, it'll make Gord look like a more suitable mate by default. Larry Trudgeman is this guy, and he shows up, and he cleans up nicely. He brought flowers for Lizzie's mom. Lizzie's like, "Well, maybe this guy will be okay." And then he immediately says, "I had to battle alien forces in the garden to get these flowers for you, Mrs. McGuire." And Lizzie's wince, like the actress, made me laugh out loud. Larry sees the boxcar racer in the backyard and thinks it's cool. Dad goes to give Larry a high five, and Larry's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. I got a date, so I don't want grease on my hands." You know, to Lizzie's dad, implying that he's probably going to later, his daughter, later tonight. He takes her to the Science Museum, and she's having fun. She says, for a dork, he has a lot of confidence. Tombstone quote for me, right there. At school, he suddenly introduces her as his girlfriend to everyone. Lizzie says she will fake go out with him for the day, then fake break up with him at the end of the day so she doesn't, like, destroy him for real. Quick Lady and the Tramp montage for some reason. We're back to gym class, and now it's ballroom dancing. She tells him they need to talk after school. Little brother Matt says, I'm a driver. And I yell, and I'm a winner. Things are going to change. I can feel it. Dad speeds down the road out of control in his boxcar and through every trope, like the orange cart and the two people carrying a window pane. He crashes through it. Guess that's why they call it window pane. After school, Lizzie's going to break up with the nerd. He takes it swimmingly. And he's like, well, you're not smart enough for me anyway, blonde. And then he says, today, though, was the best day of my life, and she is the nicest person he knows. She says, look, there's someone special out there for you. And he says, oh, coming from my ex, that means a lot. Then he takes a beat and goes, think I have a shot at Miranda? Good stuff. Kyle Downs, Canadian actor, known only for Lizzie McGuire. Last one, 4-4. Oh my goodness, Larry is still here. She dumped this guy, and now he's talking to himself in his locker mirror, and then he starts kissing his mirror, like kissing himself. All right. It's girls ask the guys dance. That's what's coming up. And Lizzie wants to ask her crush, Ethan. She's making Gord pretend he's Ethan and practice asking him out. This poor friend's a Here's Ethan, and he's 30. She asks Ethan out, and he's like, whoa, I always thought of you more as a friend. And her heart breaks. And Gord is like, how does some of your own medicine taste, Lizzie? Side story, little brother is a mad scientist. He makes a drink. I don't care. He really looks like his mom. Like the actor looks like this actress. I wonder if they're related. Matt's a little friend in this scene. Doesn't seem to know what's going on, like where he is. Like that he's on a set. He just keeps like looking around and looking into the camera. He's no idea. Now Gord is cheering Lizzie up. Lizzie's like, I'll bet Ethan likes a wild woman. And Gord goes, no, his ex was even more dull than you are. We keep going back to the ex-boyfriend Larry for some reason. He wants to ask out some girl named Kim. Why are we still following this guy? Now Lizzie makes Gord stalk Ethan and get some ideas on what Ethan's into so she can implement that. Gotta say, this Gord guy, like whoever this actor is, he's really good. Gord just asks Ethan straight up what kind of girls he likes. He's like, I like mysterious ones. And then, hey man, no one ever talks to you about this stuff. We should hang out. And Gord's like, you. Montage of Lizzie being mysterious. Matt opens a little nightclub in his backyard and serves that drink. He tells his keyboardist, hey, I want to hear some P. Diddy. Run, Miranda, run, Lizzie. Lizzie puts on a hat and asks if she looks mysterious, and Gordon says, you look like a bag lady. She pretends to like Ja Rule, and Ethan calls her out, but luckily Ethan's an idiot, so she easily like changes the subject and deflects. Some bully comes into the like backyard club and convinces all the kids to go back to his house instead of coming to Matt's little nightclubs, and Matt folds like a card table and shuts it all down, and thus ends the B storyline. Lizzie has done her homework and impresses Ethan by pretending to like everything he likes, and in the end, after all that, he still just wants her as a friend. He's like, there's just no shoot. What's that subject in high school that I'm never going to pass? Chemistry. That's a great quote. Lizzie's sad. Lizzie's going back to regular Lizzie. Everyone is healing. Everything's going back to normal. In the Lizzie McGuire show, Lizzie keeps rolling the rejection round in her head and even confides it to little brother Matt. Now, Gord has to come over and listen to Lizzie and Miranda about Ethan. Oh my God, Lizzie and Gord are slow dancing now. And Miranda dances with Matt. So did they or didn't they? Like Lizzie and Gord. Well, see, now I'm fucking into it. Now I want to know. And that was the last episode.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.
Okay, Macy.
I'm still Jenny from the block.